When I was a kid, I was outgoing, friendly.
She was full of energy, excellent at gymnastics, exuberant child.
I used to be a happy kid. I wasn't the kind of kid who would start a lot of fights.
And I used to say to people, boy, that's one child I'll never have any problems with because she was just wonderful. She was vivacious and interested in life and bright until I'd say about puberty, about grade 7, grade 8.
My parents split up, and I was dealing with my mom sort of going a little nuts. I started to use drugs to sort of numb the pain. Well, I went to talk to my counselor the next day, and he said, I believe you've had a drug-induced psychotic episode. I didn't believe him, though. I'm not psychotic. Nothing's wrong with me. I just took too much.
At 13 and 14, I was doing everything within my power to drive my mom crazy.
She frequently had great anger outbursts and would scream and yell and throw things at me and then stomp off to her room and slam the door. And all your life is consumed with trying to deal with her problems.
At that point, I really was helpless. I was now just a bystander.
I've been hearing people say things at school and voices in my head saying that there were cameras in my bathroom filming me. And I tore the bathroom apart looking for the cameras. Could never find any.
Everything was amplified. Everything had to do about me. I started hearing the various teachers' voices talking to me. In fact, I was just 1,000 voices I was hearing in my head at any given time.
I went to a hockey game one time, and that was really difficult because it felt like everybody at that game knew about me, was making fun of me, hated me, and that's a lot of people.
And then I said to my brother, did you hear that? And he said, hear what? And it was at that moment that I thought, that's kind of weird. But I didn't tell anybody about it because I thought, I don't want anybody to think I'm really getting strange.
She was very careful to hide a lot of her symptoms from us. So other than her rebellion, we really didn't know a lot of the ideas that she had.
It got to the point where the voices started turning ugly, and then they started insulting me. And they started commanding me to do things like stand by the window at 2 o'clock in the morning and wait for that psychiatrist to bring the poison so he can kill me. Because I was really feeling awful inside. I was feeling really tormented and I wanted to die.
I was aware of what a diagnosis of schizophrenia meant, and it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant to think about. And that was hard. Why did this happen to us? Why us? This isn't fair.
I didn't believe that. I thought I was in hospital as some sort of experiment. In fact, for a while, I refused to use the resources. I wouldn't eat their food, and I wouldn't take showers and use their hot water because I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't one of the sick patients. I think my longest stint was about 3 days. I would take my shoes off and go through the forest, through thorn bushes and ice and mud. And, my feet were so swollen, they were like 2 little balloons. And I had cuts on them and I was in a wheelchair for a while.
I got to the hospital at Lionsgate and was in the room with her. And she was looking up at me, just like she was a baby. And they started unbundling her. And when they took off the towel from her feet, and I saw her feet, I think that rocked me to the core.
When she slashed her wrist, I guess I wasn't really surprised. I knew that something like that might happen occasionally.
I went into the bathroom and I don't remember a heck of a lot, and I remember her bandaging or putting a tourniquet around my wrists and driving me to the hospital.
There's blood all over the place, and it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary.
She had threatened to go to Lynn Canyon Park and jump off a cliff. So I knew I had to follow. I couldn't let her go. It was very surreal, but we were willing to do anything to have her back.
It's heartbreaking when your beautiful daughter has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and you initially just don't know where to turn. You really are at a loss, and you look for help wherever you can.
I've talked to so many police officers, counselors, worked with her school, trying to understand how we can make this better. And quite frankly, it was the pamphlet for the North Shore Schizophrenic Society that I feel saved me, because I called and I got immediate response.
The Family Support Center has been wonderful because you know you can come here and there are people that understand. You can be yourself and you can be quite open and tell all your woes and problems. And they've been going through the same thing, so they understand exactly what you've been going through.
They gave me the tools to deal with this emotionally, how to talk to her, what's the best possible recovery, and I was going to make sure that she got that.
Certainly, it's given my parents a lot of support over the years, and it's given me great support. It's given me opportunities for volunteering.
And also, you know that if there's new discoveries with mental illness, the Schizophrenia Society and Family Support Center will have some of the new information about that, which is kind of important too.
I started volunteering for North Shore Schizophrenia Society, doing the talks. I started doing peer support. I started working in the thrift stores. I started doing a lot of things. So really, I started blossoming as a person.
Well, I always wanted to graduate. I didn't really see not going to school as being an option. But I graduated, and I'm going to BCC now. I'm exploring some of my interests.
It's about keeping the love alive in your heart and keeping the joy of life in your heart.
I'm really proud because, wow, what she's been through, that's tough. That's really tough.
I always had hope.
Things do get better. Things will get better. It's wonderful.
Her personal strength gives me strength. If she can get through that, I can get through anything too.